Welcome to Rabcast. I'm Daniel Weiner. I recently saw Steven Spielberg's latest, Lincoln, based on Doris Kearns Goodwin's best-selling history. Tommy Lee Jones almost steals the show as radical abolitionist Thaddeus Stevens, and Daniel Day-Lewis is, as always, uncanny in his ability to so completely and expertly metamorphose into anyone. Peter Sellers is rolling in admiration. The legacy of the Civil War remains raw, and memories of this violent expression of national division still echo painfully down to our current culture wars and polarized electorate. Tony Kushner's screenplay offers winking nods at the contemporary political landscape, as much as it tackles transcendent themes. Watching the sausage of partisan wrangling and the compromising of principle toward realized policy is as distasteful today as it was in the days of the stovetop hat. The competing and at times contradictory goals of ending slavery and ending the war were an unenviable Faustian bargain for this tortured commander-in-chief. But it was in its portrayal of the crucible of conflict as necessary pathway to wholeness, right, and good that the story ascended to the epic. Without that bloody conflict, our nation would never have purged itself of its original sin of human bondage. And without a descent to the depths of fratricide, we might never truly appreciate the tragic consequences of unchecked divisiveness, nor possess an awareness of the limits that constrain such descent. In this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach, Jacob's physical, spiritual, and emotional sojourn comes full circle in a crescendo of family reconciliation and personal growth. The patriarch learns that the brother he had exploited and angered as an arrogant youth, Esau, was returning for an adult reunion. Jacob projects his own fears and pettiness onto his brother, whom he expects will seek vengeance. After plying Esau with bribes and other nomadic swag, Jacob endures a solitary dark night of the soul along the river Yabbok. In a dream or vision, Jacob wrestles with a being of some kind and emerges from the struggle with a permanent Charlie horse and a new name, Yisrael, literally one who wrestled with God. Though there are as many interpretations of this episode as there are words in the story, the dominant theme of struggle with self seems most fitting and most instructive. For Jacob to truly be worthy of the mantle of leadership of this destined people, he must reconcile past mistakes and heal old wounds. Only after confronting the past and battling his lesser self can Jacob emerge as Yisrael, the eponymous shepherd of this evolving nation. Despite our people's long history of martyrdom, we do not view suffering as redemptive or necessary. But struggle, sacrifice, and the quest to survive are the lot of us all, often against daunting odds. And our inevitable trials as individuals are writ large as challenges to nations and to human civilization as a whole. Perhaps the ultimate lesson of the Parashat, our 19th century strife, and our current climate of irrational irreconcilability is to extend the insight gleaned from personal growth into a clarion call for global change, a moral, spiritual, and cultural transformation that is nothing less than God's imprint on our hearts and our lives. Shabbat Shalom.